so we're back to doing some blackout tattoos today. I think we have some interesting stuff here by the looks of things. It's only a couple examples, but they're pretty long-winded, so there must be quite a bit to this.
All right, so this one's from Elaine. It says, "My first blackout. Hi Remy, fellow Canadian here from Quebec. Don't know why, it was fun knowing you're in Canada. Most people don't know that.
Well, most people that think there's only one English-speaking country in the world.
Yeah, or they just assume you're American.
I'm a Biden supporter, remember?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Anyways, I have been a tattoo artist for 4.5 years. I want to gain experience in blackout and black work, so I gave my friend a free session of blackout. I have done black and gray with significant black, but it's not the same. Following your advice, we set out for a 3-hour session maximum. My friend is heavily tattooed and very enduring. She slept through her throat tattoo. That's amazing. I didn't want to go more than 3 hours, so we put a timer out. She did 2 hours, 30 minutes before she started not liking it and tapped out. As you will see, it's on the upper arm and fairly easy spot, so yeah, it takes its toll. I know it's not perfect, but I think it's not bad for a first time. Please tell me what you think of it. Included are 4 photos fresh, 2 photos day after, and 1 photo 4 days after with peeling. Need to add this is the start of a sleeve. We will do lace on the shoulder and negative flower on the inner arm with white and black in the future. And I want to
Let's get the blackout finished before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just finding where I am. Need to add this as a start of a sleeve. We'll do lace on the shoulder, negative flower on the inner arm with white and black in the future. And I know I have to go over at least below the owl. Around the owl is because I was thinking to keep a sticker-like feel in the owl, but she didn't like it, so I blacked it out with a different, smaller needle. I should have kept going with the same needle. Thanks very much for your time, Elaine.
The whole consistency and texture of the thing. Like whatever needle you're working with, you really should just keep going with it. And you can smooth all that out though. Like
in the
second
future.
pass, you come in with I find the bigger mags work better for second passes. So like, I don't think I've seen these like 123s and stuff being used for first pass arms, but if you're not doing black work every day, I think the limit should be a 49 mag, and that's even going to be a lot to work with.
Make sure you can touch down all the needles.
Well, yeah, but even then, it's like making sure they're all in the same depth is difficult, right? So unless you're pretty skilled with big mags, I think even a 23 or a 27 is pretty large. Anything smaller than that, I think, is too small for blackout. Like, really do. I think
my confusion here is why it's just so frayed there at the bottom.
I think they'll probably be adding to that from what that email said. But why bother with the owl?
Right? Why not just get rid of it?
Well, why bother with them? If you're going to do all this other stuff, like all the stuff they're talking about doing with white work and a negative thing and the inner bicep and all this stuff, like this owl is just the wrong size. Just rebuild him. If you're already talking about doing white and black on black stuff and you watch my channel, like just get rid of the owl.
Make a whole new one?
Well, do a bigger owl.
I mean, he's cute, but he's just a tiny sticker in a sea of black now.
Yeah, he's fine on his own, but in the middle of this, he's so inconsequential, I just don't see the point. With that said, doing things with negative and white and black on black, I've been pretty thorough on my feelings on that, and they won't look tonally consistent. The white will be more white, right? Like it'll be white, and that kind of has a brightness to it, but it's not the same as the brightness that you get from the skin's natural highlight of negative space. The white is always going to have a bit of a dull look to it no matter what you do with it, and I actually find that even over black it has the dullest look, even though it's technically one of the lighter things you can do over black. It has this kind of glossy, kind of dull look to it.
Because it's always kind of I always find white just anytime I've encountered white healed on I don't have any white on any of my tattoos. Let me preface this. I have no white on my body. So
I've got probably more white on me than anyone.
I've never experienced, and like I experienced Remy's white, and
or at least
I've
had more white.
But like as a tattoo artist now, I'm coming across white on people's skin healed in other tattoos, and it has like a different texture to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look quite the same as a lot of other inks do.
Yeah, like it's so thick, it always feels like scarred in.
And right to point out, by the way, that black and gray shading, a little bit of black, is way different than doing blackout. I actually had a pretty well-known black and gray artist try and do some blackout on me, and it didn't go well at all. It was a girl that was visiting here from somewhere in Europe.
Yep.
And she could not saturate fields of black at all.
No, I think it would be really tricky.
It was frustrating. But here you see in black and gray, when you do these big fields of black like this, if you have a little bit of this like patchiness, it's forgiven because black and gray in general is kind of patchy, right? Like it's a lot of soft shades and stuff. So if your darker shades have some wiggles and wobbles in them, they're not really going to be catching your eye. Whereas with a solid field of any color or any tone, it's going to stand out if it's not perfect.
Yeah, and like even, I mean, I've watched Terry do blackouts, and he like, the motion that he makes to do a background is just like blackout. It's just like the smallest wiggle.
There's different ways to do it. I don't know that his is the best. He's getting a decent result, but he doesn't get as solid a black as Rick, and Rick's is not a black worker either. But Rick's is...
He color packs, though.
Yeah, Rick's is far more solid than Terry's, but Rick is Rick, and he's a pain to work with.
Yeah, I think it's just making sure that you're covering the surface area as efficiently as you can in a single pass.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing, right?
And being confident that you are doing
knowing
that.
It's in there, I don't have to go back. See, that's the thing with Rick. Like, if he touches it, he knows it's black, and he's not going back.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people haven't saturated a ton of color or a ton of black, and so they're like questioning whether it's done.
Yep.
It's like, and then they hit it again, and sometimes when you hit it again, your work is going to heal worse, and then you're actually going to lose some of your black saturation through
hitting it too many times.
Well, plasma, bad healing, blood, whatever. The skin being like too swollen to thoroughly assess whether it's solid. There are times when Rick will say he'll be saturating something and he'll already know that it needs a touch up, or he'll know that like he'll need to hit it again, but he's not going to hit it again that day because hitting it again that day would make it even worse.
Yeah.
Right. So it's about like good judgment sometimes.
Knowing when to quit.
And early on, when you haven't packed like a ton of black, I think it's really easy to underwork or overwork something and not know when it's actually saturated.
I'm just curious what their process is, because around the edges, just the way the mag marks look, it looks like they're doing like really big circles, or like, I don't know. It just seems like you could do it more efficiently.
When Lee was doing all of my blackout, he was like skating. Like the guy was like,
he goes,
oh, he wasn't knowing that. He was like zooming.
Really?
Yeah. Like, wow. And you see a lot of black workers do. A lot of black workers move really fast.
Yeah. And well, they probably have their machine really high too.
Well, they also trust that it's there too, right?
Well, because they know.
Once it's black, and there's no going back. You see, the craziest thing that I've seen was that Deco Kamanu or whatever, the way he saturates black.
Yeah.
It is wild. Like he's got, like I think it's like a 120 or 130 mag of some kind, and it's like he's using his thumb as like a windshield wiper almost.
Oh, so crazy.
Wiping away blood and plasma. But he does. There's a minute video of him tattooing on Instagram, and it's like in that minute he covers like a third of a guy's forearm, and it's solid black. It looks brutal, but like I'm sure it's healing great because people travel from all over the world to see him. He's a French tattooer, and he's responsible for one of my favorite bodysuits that we've actually featured on here. It was the one with the question mark on the throat. It's a multi-layer black work project, black on black, and the guy looks like he's destroying people, but he's getting amazing results.
Interesting.
One of the fastest in the world. I think I seen him post a black arm finished in like an hour, 45 minutes. Like, it's insane.
That is
and
crazy.
watching his work, it looks insane.
But that's what he does.
But yeah, this one isn't too bad for a first try, though.
No, I think it was looking pretty good.
Yeah. It's harder than some people give it credit for, so.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So this next one's from Josh. It says, "Hello, Remy and team. I don't care if I end up on your YouTube. Just wanted to send you pics of my sleeve. It's been a long process. Started in November 2023. Now at this point,
it's not that long.
I know. We'll be shading in roses and filigree in the upcoming weeks. I'm very proud of this piece. My artist April Weiss in Langley hasn't done anything like this, but is a color champion. And I couldn't believe how this has turned out so far. I just wanted to say thank you for your videos. They opened my eyes to new possibilities. All done with dynamic and 27 meg. Maybe I'll hear from you, maybe not. Either way, thanks for being you." Oh, this is actually really cool.
Yeah, I would just say, yeah, and this is fresh here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say, first off, that's barely any time, especially for a cover-up of any kind.
Yeah.
And we're probably reacting to this a few months late, too.
Yeah, like he said, 2023, it's...
November, for example, I had the first session on this sleeve in March of 2023, and I'm still working on it.
Jeez.
So, not to poop on this. This is fine. It's like, I know what this looks like from even a few feet away when it's healed.
Yeah.
It's not going to be super, super striking. He said he's going to shade it. I'm thinking that means white shading.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't, especially since he's watched my videos, I don't know why you wouldn't think to use black on black as well. And you can certainly do white lined version of this. I've seen this way too, where they line a thing in white and then they fill it with another shade of black. I would recommend doing black shading with the white shading, though.
I think that makes it look really dynamic. You did that in your roses on your arm originally.
And they didn't look like they were blackout. Like, a lot of people thought those were like some kind of black and gray. They still do. Like, because I still haven't posted my colored version of my sleeve on my Instagram.
Oh, they haven't seen it yet.
Not on my Insta. Well, I've done stories and stuff, but like, I barely care to keep my Instagram up to date. So like, I still have people who are like, "Oh, when are you gonna do the white?" Like, it's like, well, the white's in there. It's with black. Yeah. Right. So it looks like black and gray.
Crazy.
It looks like a chrome black and gray, and you can't get that result with just white on black. You have to do the two together. And so many people think like, "Oh, well, you can't get blacker than my." But yes, you can. Like, and if your artist thinks that it's the case that you can't get a darker black or a different, like, this is a fumbling point for some people. And the really good black, like white on black projects that I see always have black on black in them. They always do. And those are the ones that will stand the test of time. The simple white line work stuff, it's still going to be there, but it's going to dull down, and it's not going to be as contrasted and as clear. And it's like, if that white reduces to a darker gray white, then it's going to get a little bit muddy and all that black. So if you emboss it or reinforce it with some sturdier black next to it, or even just a different tone of black, it will just stand out better. It's a proven science at this point, and like, I'm seeing it all the time now. People are coming around to this thought process. So there's one done by that Cody tattooer. Yeah. I just keep seeing it all over the place, and everyone keeps calling it white on black, and it's like, he says in the first fucking line of the caption, black and white on black. Yeah. All people see is the white. Right. They're missing, like, I think 75% of that sleeve.
And the black is so important.
Is black on black, and then it's white highlighted, and there's some white line work. But that's all bolstered by the black that's in there. That sleeve doesn't happen any other way. And anyway, I do like the scale they used. It's a little hard to keep track of everything because it's all just one note, but it's still cool, and it's good to see just more multi-layer work in general.
Yeah, and I'd like to see an update eventually of this sleeve too.
Yeah,
I'd love to see like when you guys shade it in and how that goes.
I just hope that they use black on black with it, because if not, you're leaving so much depth off the table. Right. But it's so hard to get an artist that will even do this, let alone like listen to things that they don't trust, even though there's evidence to the contrary.
Yeah, good on your artist for
yeah, good on them for trying this at least, because so many of them won't.
Well, I hear think it's not possible.
Well, I hear from so many people who were like, I showed my artists your videos or pictures, and they just said they didn't, like, that's all edited, and that doesn't happen, and there's not, like, whatever fucking excuse they make. It's always something like that, though. So